This is the only time you can get me to do all my domestic chores.
Okay.
Is the machine working?
Jim?
Oh yeah, it's working fine.
That's fantastic.
Dish.
In retrospect, and I wanted Frances to have a record of her mother as a moving person, you know. And Bert took some darling pictures of Liv and Frances together. You know, they're moving around. She can see her mother as an active person. Yeah, right. Not just still. And I
Now,
really.
Natalie made some tapes, didn't she? Talking tapes.
Yeah, And this, I really haven't gone through those, but Jim said that Bert had already mastered the complexities of doing them, you know, on his recorder. So we were going to ask him to make duplicates so that we could have copies of them too. I had bought a book. Maybe it was one of those bookstores, I guess, near us. And the author of the book is from Albuquerque, I think, and he was in giving an autograph party. And and I guess reading some of his poetry. And the one that runs the bookstore there, near where Susie lives, was saying what a delightful bunch of nonsense stuff it is for kids.
Not at all.
Like Dr.
It's not
It's
too
similar
much
to
you
Dr.
can do.
Seuss, you know, but not Dr. Seuss. And so Liv was reading those, and it really is just, they're just darling.
That's great. Yes! That's good that she does that.
You see the red suitcase?
Well, I had gotten a little tape player for Frances, and Liv and Bert had both recorded for Frances when she first came down here. And she would bring that little tape player downstairs, and then she would say, "Mommy," you know, meaning I want to hear the tape. And she would listen to the tape at night before she went to bed.
That's great. Oh, I thought he was standing up.
What's in the boiling water on the stove?
Beans. The beans and the vegetable soup weren't quite done, so I picked them out and put them in the boiling water.
You know.
Yes, I did.
Oh, come on.
I couldn't help it.
Well, how did you know they weren't quite done? Did you
Because I
bite into
tasted
one?
it. It
Did it break your
crunch.
teeth or something?
No. It's just not that. I mean, it's at that kind of coarse stage.
No,
In fact, there will be some in there. I'm sure I can get them all.
You
So don't eat the red beans.
You went through 3 gallons of vegetable soup looking for beans.
That's how I'm sure I didn't get them all.
There might be one hidden behind the cabbage somewhere.
Right.
Well, in the shell macaroni, that would be a good place for it to
Hidden
Now, I'm
away.
here to tell you about broken teeth. If it's going to happen on a bean, I want to get that bean because I've got my
break your tooth?
Probably a grape nut or something like that.
Oh, you don't know.
Well, it was a tooth that had been worked on before anyway. So now I have things I didn't even know about.
This was almost immediately after we had gotten back, and the tooth had broken, and something else had happened, and I asked Mother if she felt like her body was falling apart. He said yes. Because, I mean, it was just unbelievable.
Everything happened,
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of a sudden.
Well, did you bite into something or?
Yeah, probably grape nut or something. It was while I was eating
Yeah.
breakfast.
Oh, I
And
see. Yeah.
So Susan was able to make an appointment every day, which by the way. But I have 3 little gold pins going into that too. For what reason, I don't know. And I have a beautiful temporary crown that works. I think the man's a genius.
Oh, Tom, I want to tell you, Gary Shockey and Donna just had a new baby,
Oh, really?
Kimberly Allison, on the 23rd. 7 pounds, 10.5 ounces,
Oh my
20 inches
God.
long, real normal.
The day before Christmas, perhaps?
No, 23rd of January.
Oh, January. Oh, that is just a couple of days ago.
So I called up Donna the other night and I said, "Hi, Mama," figuring that would be appropriate in any event. I knew the child was due soon. So
I
she
hate
was
that
feeling good. She said that she was a real experienced mom now. That was her fourth delivery, and the labor lasted an hour and 20 minutes or
Her
something.
fourth delivery.
Yeah, she had one baby who died shortly after birth, a heart
And then they
defect.
have 3
Yeah,
others?
that's good.
And then she has a child by her first marriage, April, and then Jeremy is the little boy they had after the baby who died.
Yeah.
So she's had, oh, wow.
This is her fourth. And the little girl, she's real happy.
That's good.
You mentioned in your note a lot of people came to Nebraska.
Oh yeah, fantastic number.
Let's see,
of
Kiko
people.
came.
Dave Kiko, Dave Wethy,
Yeah.
Carlos,
Carlos, yeah.
That was
Fred
really big
Thompson,
help.
and Gary.
Yeah.
All
Bert,
came.
was it, you sent us that note, which we appreciated. Was that barn related to?
Oh yeah,
where you were?
that
Just-
was Lib's great-grandfather's barn on
It was.
maternal great-grandmother.
Yeah, because I remember
Father.
you saying
My
that there
dad
was
has
a barn.
given the barn to
I remember you telling that
the
with the no
Nebraska
nail.
Historical Society. And this is another Yaley that
Busy.
my niece is married to a man who is an architect.
Oh, right. That
And-
took all the pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. And he thinks, that there ought to be, you can't just give a building. You have to give parking space around it. And what he has several suggestions about the use of some of the space around the barn. And we're having one of the agricultural management companies evaluate, it's not going to take anything away from the farming, but there needs to be parking space. And there are old farm implements in the,
Tools and-
and there is also a beautiful old hearse parked up there on the second
And then
floor.
it can be warming up.
But it's a darling old building. It has no nails in it, Linda. It's all paved.
Yeah, well, I have a picture of it now, because Bert used that for a note.
So Steve was suggesting that maybe there could be a children's petting zoo there, or that there could be a flower garden where people could come and pick flowers, more on the wild order,
Yeah.
But people could have access to it, which might also lend a note of interest to the place.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's great. It
But
was
it's-
a beautiful barn, and I
it's on
thought
the
it might
farm.
be that one.
Of where my mother was born.
Andrew.
Who would eat?
Well, that's it. You drape that over the table or?
Right.
Oh.
We came well prepared.
Do you want us to bring our suitcases in now? It was so comfortable the last time I stayed here, Tom.
Yeah. Oh, well.
We're all packed.
We wanted to know what it was like to sweep over too.
Well, Tom and
I'll
Linda
tell you
had
later,
a
it's
boarder
been
for
cold.
a long time.
That's right. Yeah. And this summer we might have a visitor from Budapest too for a couple of weeks.
Oh, really?
really?
Fun.
Now, who
Is
is
this someone you met on the trip?
Yeah, somebody we met on our trip, and he's just going to visit the United States and
Yeah, that'd be
do a
fun.
little sightseeing and come visit us.
You can see how the capitalist workers are exploited. Remember Jan, don't you? That was
Oh
There's the
yeah.
Amico cafeteria one day, and there are all these Okies sitting around with
Yeah.
smoking their cigarettes, drinking their coffee, with cowboy boots up on tables,
Yeah.
looking pretty disreputable and laid back.
Yeah.
And he quotes it in heavily accented English. So, these are the exploited workers of the capitalist system.
Are you tagging a copy of
I've got to read about farming.
About who?
Farming.
Oh, is there an article in there?
What magazine?
We don't get it. U.S. News and World Report.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. I haven't
It
read
was
it.
an interesting, what was that, 60 Minutes the other night, talking about farmers.
Don.
No, Donahue the other morning.
Oh yeah.
Get all my TV shows confused. But it was real interesting, what is happening with the family farm and
Yeah.
basically how people just continue to borrow and borrow and borrow. And the debt, that they're in.
Mhm.
It's just phenomenal.
Yeah, well, it made paper millionaires out of a few of them, or I suppose many of them a few years ago, and
Uh-huh.
of course that can't continue, and now things are on the other side. No
Yeah.
different than that, really. The kind of reverse process.
They were talking about these corporations coming in and being the farmers, and basically, I mean, that's kind of, my grandfather had 5 farms,
Yeah.
and he managed them, and then mother and her brothers have turned it over to this farm management company to, so that's basically the corporation kind of moving in and telling them what to do.
Also, it's really hard to tell what crops to raise now, too,
Yeah.
because you don't have any idea, if they have a big harvest
Yeah.
in some far corner of the world, in Argentina or something, that has a tremendous
Yeah.
effect here, and you have no way
Yeah.
of preparing for
Well, we've been raising Milo, whatever that is, which the management company said, it's just pointless to raise. But
What do
it's,
you use that for?
I guess
Some sort of feed grain. It looks really weird. These
Yeah.
short things look sort of like corn with the funny.
Yeah.
head
Yeah,
on.
tassel, yeah.
You could probably get it at the Whole Foods store.
You can get a lot of things at the Whole Food store, but I wouldn't eat.
do I want it,
Make a vegetarian, there's probably a recipe for muffins, Milo muffins.
Milo muffins.
Yeah.
Actually, Milo has. I remember reading this. It's eaten as a food grain.
Yeah.
I believe in India, but maybe I'm wrong. And even it has very high cyanide content.
Oh, really?
So
really?
yeah, and part of that has to do with storage for some reason. But you got to cook the hell out of it before it's safe to eat.
Well, I agree with the farm management company, why raise it?
Yeah.
You can't sell it. It's,
and primarily in that part of the country, corn and beans are the major crops. And, we've had a lot of popcorn too, as well as seed corn. But not Orville Redenbacher. No,
Orville Redenbacher?
no,
Oh, it's not one of the organs.
not his, Puff's right.
Yeah, because pumpkin corn is a special variety that has a high moisture content or something. The U.S. loves popcorn.
Lena's gonna hate me. I better pan away.
I didn't know, until we started raising seed corn and popcorn and stuff like that, what a sex life corn has.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Goodness.
And, you have to be very careful when you're raising seed corn.
To get the
For
right seeds
the cross pollination.
Oh,
And
I see.
it would play havoc with the seed corn, if it was pollinated by the popping corn or some other kind of corn. So you have to be very careful about
I didn't know that.
See, you're as naive as I am about sex like a piece of corn.
Well, I'm learning about this palm, which apparently is very active also.
No, I'm sitting on this.
You know what I'm worried about is that one of these days that palm is going to have seeds which are going to explode. You know how some plants have the pods that will just suddenly explode and spread all, and we're going to come home from work one day and there'll be little seeds all over,
Go into a new business, set up your sign,
growing palms.
palm trees for sale. That plant.
It's really kind of pretty. Unfortunately, it looked better about 3 or 4 months ago before the cold weather set in. See, at first I didn't know what was making it unhappy. I'm learning as I go on this thing. The brown tips.
Well, it sure smells good. Everybody does that. It's very annoying. Sort of the home movie syndrome. This is Linda Rice cooking.
You want some soup, Bert? Does this
This
thing
is Julia
have sound?
Childs. Oh yeah.
Are you kidding?
Oh no, this has been great. A little conversation piece, a lot of fun. Especially that piece when you were talking about the hard beans.
I didn't realize that you could do
What a
that.
cracker.
I probably wouldn't have said that. We
Oh,
were
it was so
laughing.
funny.
I can't wait to tell Tom that that will go down in posterity.
Oh, yeah. These are red beans and rice. Wouldn't have made this before, and they're real good.
Oh, it's
Good.
vegetable soup, Bert.
It's vegetable soup?
Yeah.
Well, it looks like red beans.
It does have red beans in it.
What's good? When you said red beans, I figured it was red beans and
Yeah.
rice.
It's only a minor part.
How's your maid?
She's great. In fact, I don't know where a real ladle is, 'cause who knows?
She hit it.
She's just great. Miss Helen. We love her.
Seems like a real nice lady.
She's just a nice lady. She really is. I mean, I feel lucky to know her. She'll have her, do a great service for us.
Well, that's for sure. Little soup,
A bowl of
in
soup.
living color, and steam.
All right. Well, you get a shot of the cornbread, fresh from the oven.
We'll do that too.
Well, I guess I'll... Andrew's cute, isn't he? How's
Oh, yeah.
Frances doing?
Well, pretty well, except for those ear infections. She's real happy. She's enjoying.
She's still going to the same daycare?
Yeah, same lady, and so everything's going on pretty well there. She's settled in with her little friend next door. They're good buddies.
Good. Little boy?
Little boy. He's younger than she is. He's huge. They weigh about 40 pounds.
Really? He said he was a little more shy or...
Yeah, he's coming out of that now. He's coming out of that. He was just so much younger.
Yeah.
He seems to be a lot
We enjoyed
more
Frances
assertive.
so much. Our friends where we took her to dinner still ask about her.
She's been fine. She's had an ear infection for a month. I'm on the third kind of antibiotic. It's
My
Not
best
good.
friend's little girl used to get those, and they ended up putting tubes in her.
yeah, Frances. She's on her second set of tubes
Oh, she does?
currently. Yeah, she had her left one fell out recently.
Oh, no. And that means they can't go swimming and stuff?
Yeah, they can't completely immerse their heads.
It's so funny the way he totters.
There.
You don't know which direction he's gonna.
That's right.
One step at a time.
All by yourself. You want to go walk to the table? Come on, let's go walk over here.
Is that right?
Well, I assume it had sound.
I didn't know.
So TV
I didn't know they were
recorder.
going to know about my hard beans. But now I'll fess up, the beans weren't hard, were
They
they?
were hard, and it was delicious soup, very delicious soup.
Would you speak in the camera?
I will. Linda, I would recommend your soup making to anybody. You need to share this recipe with friends, cohorts, everybody.
The beans probably turned out even better for having been boiled for
That's right.
an extra
Well,
hour.
the heck out of those things.
In fact, toward the end there, it was almost running out of water.
Really? You can always add more water. We would have had more people, just add more water, isn't that the rules?
That's the way it is
right.
in Hungary. Sure.
Right.
It's company for dinner, add more water.
Yeah.
Another potato.
Yeah, and a potato.
There were potatoes in there.
Tom, Linda, you didn't ever live in Hungary, did you?
Mm-mm. First time I'd ever set foot was this last summer.
Oh, this last summer, huh?
But
Your
it was
memories
so
of it
exciting.
are from hearing family talk
Just
about
hearing discussions about it and
Hey, Tom,
you know,
look.
looking in the same places. I know. I realized I knew I'd seen it somewhere.
You looked all over for that sweater this morning. Was it fine? Did Mommy leave you? I did. Mommy leave you. Just a little bit.
Thank you.
These movies are going to seem confusing with that big mirror there. It's going to be hard to distinguish between people and...
images.
It'll just seem like a foreign movie, that's all. Right?
Something like that. Very arty.
Yeah, very arty.
It's called a stream of videotape.
To Europe
It's kind of a
this summer.
stream of consciousness movie.
Did you have a pre-planned visit, or did you go wherever you wanted, just get a car and go wherever
We
you
had a
wanted?
car and went wherever we wanted, but we had a general agenda. We didn't know where we were going to be on any given day, but we knew roughly what we wanted to see.
Mhm.
And as it turned out, we had to rush quite a bit, but we got a good idea of a number of different places as we travel through Germany and then Austria, and then from Austria we took a side trip up to Krakow in Poland, and then Linda Rice went to Budapest, and then I met up with her again in Budapest, and then from there.
Where did you go there?
Hi.
Oh,
Andrew
you-
loves
every time you
cameras.
go down, every time you go
Andrew.
anywhere, you need a visa.
Hi.
A brand new one. You can't even get multiple visas
Hi.
at once. So, in fact, that was one of the problems.
You said she went,
She went from Vienna to Budapest.
oh, you went back, oh, I said, okay.
High up in the air.
I always wanted to see Poland.
So you would need a visa to Poland?
High in the
I needed a visa to get into Czechoslovakia, to go through Czechoslovakia, then we needed another visa to get into Poland. Then we needed a visa to get into Czechoslovakia again, then we needed a visa to get into
Bring
Hungary.
it home,
Now, do you
my
get those
baby,
here before you move?
bumblebee.
Or do you get them on the way?
Well, my mommy
Both, it
is
depends on your
a
itinerary.
Yeah.
I'm
Sometimes,
bringing
they won't give
home
you
my
more than one visa at a
baby,
time.
bumblebee.
So we
We really
needed,
want to keep track of you.
It's
Exactly.
done.
so to go to Krakow, for example, ahead of time you get your Czech and your Polish visa. Then when you get to Poland, you have to get your Czech and your Hungarian visa.
And you do this through
Yeah.
which embassy, or embassy, or?
The embassy or the consulate.
The American embassy or
It's-
consulate?
No,
Or
it's
you go to
the Czech or the Polish or the Hungarian.
And does it take a day to arrange, or a few hours?
It depends on the embassy. Some took 5 minutes, others it took, I don't exaggerate, not 5 minutes, probably half an hour. And then others are almost an all-day production. The Hungarian visa we got here out of Washington, so.
That was going to be your
Yeah.
first stop into Hungary from Austria.
That's right.
In that case, you have to get a visa prior to entering Hungary?
Well, they give them at the border. Hungary is the most liberal of all.
Oh, you could have gotten it at the
What they
border if you
do.
hadn't arranged for it
If you
here.
wanted to, right, but that is one of the few eastern countries
I
that
think he
permit
will.
visas at the
But
border.
we've been saying that for
What
about
if
a
you
cannot
fly,
be
what
done.
if you fly into, say, Budapest?
That he
Would
will
you be able
walk
to get one
this
at the airport?
this week.
Yeah, the airport and the major highways have
Mhm.
visa operations.
So, wait a second, Tom, when you're trying to go to Czechoslovakia, for example, where do you
You know,
get a
yeah.
visa?
Feeling confident.
The way we did it is we got it at the Czech embassy in Budapest.
Oh, I see, okay.
Okay, there you can't do it at the border. You can't just drive up and say, I feel like going to Bratislava.
Oh, I see. You got a ticket.
Not that you would anyway.
Yeah, not many people want to go to Bratislava anyway, but
Because I have there's a geophysical meeting in Budapest in June.
Oh, really?
you're kidding.
No.
You will love, are you going?
I've never gone to the European.
You would love it.
And I was thinking about it, but I haven't asked anybody to go.
That'd be great.
Budapest has become one of the convention capitals of
Yeah.
Europe.
That's
because
right.
it's very inexpensive. You can eat like royalty and do anything at very little cost. And it's just a very pleasant place to be. It's a beautiful
Yeah, that's
setting.
what I understand.
Especially if you have
The
a
people
hotel
are real nice. Well, of course, they were real nice to me because I spoke the language, but
What's
you know,
the-
they're accustomed to tourists.
They thought Tom was a little retarded, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
they
spoke
said, well, he's
slow.
kind of slow, but they didn't know that he was American. They thought he
Yeah,
just spoke
nice.
Hungarian.
They couldn't believe that I had never stepped
Wow.
foot in the country.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
You,
they
you
thought-
must be, it must be fantastic the way you speak then.
it must be. His accent has to be perfect.
It's a little slow.
Well,
Talk-
yeah,
talk to us a little
it's
slower
better.
Hungarian.
For words.
For posterity, Tom. Say good morning to us in Hungarian.
Jó reggelt kívánok. All the Hungarian words are very long. You know, things like, the word for airplane, for example, is flying machine, you know, repülőgép.
Uh-huh.
And all of the, when you travel around Hungary, the street signs are about, 10
Oh,
feet across?
that's
They're
wild.
enormous because,
But what's great is when Tom is we're just sitting, especially when when I first knew Tom, and I'd be over at his place, and he'd pick up, he'd be talking to me about whatever, and he'd pick up the phone, hello, blah 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 blah, 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 and never another word of English. It was wild how he just switches.
That's amazing.
You can think then in
oh, I
Hungarian.
dream in Hungarian.
Do you? Tom, this is us current man.
Say that again.
I dream in Hungarian.
I see.
You know, this is like Carlos. When he slips over into Spanish, you know,
Yeah.
I just have such admiration for people with a second language, and who is able to use it, you know.
Yeah. Well, it's slipping as the years go by. I'm not quite as fluent as I used to be,
You
which is
keep
why I slow
track.
down. But you know, I try to keep it up when I speak. I try to speak
I think
properly
when this-
rather than make
yeah.
a mishmash out of it.
If this
Language.
girl comes and stays with us this summer, you will be absolutely fluent when
Oh,
she
it should be
leaves.
great. Yeah, it should be great for my skills.
Oh, it should be hard. Now, did your parents come?
The first performance was given in May of 1958 when Hans-Heinz Schneeberger played it with Paul Bacher and the Basel Chamber Orchestra in Basel, Switzerland. Kim Hwa-chung will be the soloist.
Susie's
The
house.
result of her European
She's going to take a tour of the formal living room.
Without precedent, she got an immediate
A wet bar.
with the London Symphony for the following season.
Japanese screen, very pretty.
Spread
Trains.
concerts throughout Britain booked within 3 days. An 11-concert
King and
Far
Bad.
Eastern tour with Andre Drummond,
Bed.
5 BBC television appearances, 10 European tours over the next 3-year period, and also
Stereo,
a
of course.
long-term recording contract.
Hail, flowers.
And now here is
Flowers.
Kim Hwa-chung with Ada LaBarche with the San Francisco Symphony Orchestra in the Violin Concerto No. 1 by Bela Bartok.
No. Formal dining area.
Hi.
There's Susie and Andrew. How you doing?
Look, Andrew, a camera. A
Andrew.
camera.
Hi.
Do you want to play the piano? Okay, let's get down and you can go play the piano. You want to sit down? Okay. You want to play the piano? Yeah. You want to play? Let's go up here. Let's go up here and play. Okay. That's right. That's right. How many times in the day and stuff like that? From Nebraska, and it just seems like I had the time to get on top of learning it yet.
I'm touring your house here. Video
Oh,
tour.
good. Okay.
Okay, now we're gonna walk out into the kitchen.
Did you get the one in there?
No, I haven't gotten the toilet.
Okay.
Leave the light on.
Let me turn the light. Let me close the door.
Okay, here's the toilet.
Here's a
There it
little
is.
one.
Powder room. Wallpaper.
Big onions.
Big onions.
Do you want to get our room?
Sure. Now, master bedroom. Lower right. Items. Jim probably would like me to leave, so I will do this.
No, he doesn't.
Oh, he dresses in there?
Yeah, all his clothes on. Yes!
Ben? There's Andrew. Empty bed, very pretty. The lens is just not wide angle enough. In
Yeah.
fact, what you need
Yeah.
is a.
But it's filming.
I'm gonna. In the sink. Window facing out onto the inner area. Central island stove. refrigerator. Hey, that's a real good idea, to just videotape stuff
Yes,
for insurance purposes.
yeah.
Because it's a
'Cause
lot
then you
easier, you can
have-
record a whole room.
Oh, then writing
and
every
do it in detail, oh God.
thing.
I'm sure I
else
missed a
is-
bunch of stuff.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I know I missed some cash.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I claimed something that I had lost that made up for it, so I'm not too put out by that.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're in the back of the family room. Call this family room?
Yeah. Or the
Fireplace,
bathroom.
large windows looking out into the backyard.
Is that how?
Fire engine. Oh yeah, no, we have enough light in here.
Oh, we did, okay.
I think, anyway.
Tap-tap. Tap-tap.
Hi.
This is our Michael tree that was gorgeous when we brought it in.
It still doesn't look
It
bad.
is.
It's a little yellow. Yeah, that,
Losing, the inside is just bare.
I don't know, the yellow could be like lack of magnesium or like lack of iron.
I don't know.
Lack
what.
of blood. I don't know about that. The Mexican man that was given to Jim and Susie by Mercedes. Now we're outside. Taking a few shots of the neighborhood. Pan up the street. It's the Amico building, top thereof. There. Very modern Williamson rock. Jim and Susie's house. Front. Yard. There's Jim's urn. Iron, large iron urn. Backyard. Install these lights, landscape lights out here in the trees. Now I'm going to quit recording, go all the way back and look back into the sunroom, back at the rear of the house. That's Jim's wood pile. Somehow I don't think Jim's amused for that, but maybe he will. That's a neighbor's dog barking. It will fade out till we get more people.